Hold on, I just got out of the shower. There's some juice on the table.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
You want to explain to me what you're doing here?
I came looking for booty.
You came looking for sex with an underage boy?
Oh, no, I ain't come looking for no little boys. I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
A man's butt? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring in them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Well, I don't think you and I will be doing anything any kind of way.
Okay, I see you choosing the hard way.
Okay, cut. This isn't working. Someone get this guy out.
Don't make me ruin that bite. No, Chris, I'm a warrior.
Ah, fuck. That's okay.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
My fucking UI does not want to work with me today. That's okay, though. Anyway, what's going on, fellow YouTubers? This is Heath Nation 2465, and welcome to another episode of the Berserk and Nasty podcast. I am joined by T. Higgins' new agent, Justin.
Yo, I wish I was T. Higgins' new agent right now.
Oh, my
He got the
goodness.
bag.
Damn. Hold on. I gotta... Thing's just being a piece of shit. Anyway, speaking of T. Higgins, we're going to talk about that first. We're going to get right into the topics because it's going to be one hell of a night here. Okay, now my UI wants to work. Thank God for that. Anyway, so we're going to start here. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins complete contract details after huge new deals with the Bengals. This broke literally after we were done making our brackets for March Madness. Literally right after we finish the stream, we get the notifications. Oh, we just Jamar Chase, T. Higgins getting new deals finally. Fuck. Damn. Jamar Chase's 4-year, $161 million extension. This includes $73.9 million fully guaranteed. This is from Sports Illustrated, by the way. $41.17 in base salary, roster bonus, pregame bonus. And we got a bunch of other stuff right here. And then the bonuses that they get for the next few seasons. T. Higgins' contract is 4-year, $115 million. That has $30 million fully guaranteed, $20 million roster bonus, and then a lot of that's going to be converted as time goes on. Speaking of which, before we get started, we got a guest. We have a special guest on the podcast. The little YouTuber from NASCAR that could, Destroyer H6. How's it going there? What's going there, Alex? How you doing today? He's probably getting stuff set up on his end. Yeah, Justin, what are your thoughts? I mean,
Finally, I'm just glad it's over. And shout out to the Air Unit too, because man, if they would have fumbled this, oh man, it would have been crazy.
Nigga, T. Higgins' agent fumbled that.
How is agent fumbled? Him and Chase got the same agent, sir.
Because he shouldn't let him sign that bullshit deal.
Hey, he obviously liked it if he agreed. They agreed on it.
Because essentially, let's say, what if he ended up with a concussion? He's screwed.
I mean, that's fine. I'm pretty sure they got some type of incentive, you know what I'm saying, on how many games he can miss and all that too.
Well,
nah, it was the deal that he got a dress for every game.
yeah, it says so right here. If he plays all 17 games, he'll get 49.5, and then 45.9. It's a bunch of like incentives to be on the roster from the looks of things.
But see, if you're T. Higgins, you're happy about that because you haven't been healthy the past. You want to give them, you want to show them like, hey, I can stay healthy.
Yeah, you want to give incentive, basically.
Yeah.
All right, am I in?
You are loud and clear.
All
What's
right,
up,
let's see.
Alex?
Oh shit, this new computer.
Damn it. He fucking, right when he was talking about his computer, he fucking, damn it. But yeah, Justin, it does give incentive for him to be on that.
And he basically said he wanted to stay in Cincinnati, like,
Right.
So you're gonna do whatever you can to stay where you want to stay.
Yeah, but I got a feeling they might end up giving him the Cooper Cup treatment.
All right,
Right.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm not used to the touchscreen laptop yet.
Yeah, we all hate technology here. Trust me. But yeah, honestly, though, the deal looks fine. I just would have, like I said in previous podcasts, I would have given him longevity, make it 6 years. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I would have gave it at least 5 or 6, but
yeah, I just think it's too many ways for them to get out of paying him.
Right. It's just, it feels so weird, and especially this day and age, like red receivers get paid these short-term deals now just to be productive and shit.
Yo, shout out T. Higgins' mother too. She's funny as hell, bro.
Really?
She is funny. That is one of the funniest ladies I ever see. She had done an interview and she basically said, like, if T. Higgins would have left, she would have clowned the whole Cincinnati. Like, she would have made fun of us.
I'm having some trouble getting my shit set up here. Anyways, sorry about that.
No, you're all right. We're happy to have you here.
He would have been a dog down in Washington.
Hey, Heath, did you explain what I'm doing here or explain who I am?
I'll let you do that. So, like I told everybody on here, like, we were going to have a special guest from the NASCAR community. Here he is, the little NASCAR YouTuber that could. Alex, just describe who you are, and like.
Well, is it time for that yet, or are you gonna finish up the story first? I mean,
we'll get there. Don't worry, but we gotta get acquainted. You know what I mean? We gotta get everybody acquainted with you.
All right. Well, how about you give the little synopsis, and I'll tell you everything that you left out.
Well, basically, you're an independent journalist for NASCAR. You got your media credentials. Like, you're in with the big guys, technically speaking.
Yeah, it started about a year and a half ago. I actually started back in 2020 when I was still in high school. So it was senior year in high school, COVID year. So, yeah, of course, we all know how that turned out. Started doing it then. course, I did podcasts with like the big name people when I only had like 40 subscribers on YouTube. Grew up, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Grew up in Fruitport, though. A lot of people actually don't know. I grew up in St. Joe, but I'm originally from Fruitport. I live in Battle Creek now, working for the Battle Creek Enquirer, interning. Graduated from Lake Michigan College, actually in 2021. Same year I graduated from high school, so I was dual enrollment. I graduated from Western Michigan University in 2024. I have 2 bachelor's degrees, not one like everyone thinks. I have a Bachelor of Arts of Journalism, and I also have a Bachelor of Science in Sociology, and I minored in film, which they've changed now. I've got some friends still in college. After that, I moved back to Fruitport, which is up in the Muskegon area. Those of you guys who know Jack Sprague, he's from around the area, Spring Lake, Grand Haven, Muskegon. You said
Battle Creek, and immediately we're like, holy shit, that's Rob Van Dam country right there.
Yeah, that's what everyone knows. Rob Van Dam, RVD, Ultimate 23 Dragon. When she heard I moved to Battle Creek, she's like, isn't that where Rob Van Dam's from? I'm like, yeah, it is.
I was just saying that in my head, like, isn't that where Rob Van Dam is from?
Yep.
Yes, it is. So it's only about 15 minutes from where I went to college. Right now, I'm pursuing my master's at Wayne State, but I'm doing that online because I travel so much. I've worked for Speed Cafe and Seriously Fast, or as I call him, Trivial Slow. Fuck Tom Luttermoser. If he's watching this.
We love it.
Same for you, Speed Cafe. No one cares about your Australian bullshit.
Aussies, man. Them Aussies. We got Andy here.
Aussie! Yeah, we're not going to talk. Other than that, been married for over a year now.
Congratulations.
Got 2 kids. Living life.
Absolutely. Just live, man. That's all you can do. Now, 2 of us on the panel, we know a thing or two about having a wife and child. 2 of the guys on this panel, for sure.
Yeah, I've got twins.
Yeah. Oh, snap. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, 2 twins, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat.
That's what I wanted, but I ended up with the opposite.
You gotcha.
Just living life, my wife, my kids, my dogs, and my cat.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
You can't see them because they're in the other room, but there's a little
studio
I came up with.
Yeah, I kind of saw like the glare in the background almost. The TV.
No, the TV is right here.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Kyle Larson on winning Miami
Homestead.
Today.
Yeah. He won Homestead. It was
a good race. The last 2 races have been really good. Last week with the battle between Suarez and Barry was really good. And then, of course, this week with Larson and Bowman. The inverse of what happened in 2021 at Pocono when Larson blew a tire.
Oh, yeah.
Bowman took the outs. Here comes Bowman zipping by on the inside. I'm like, what the hell? I've been playing the NASCAR 36 for 36 here that they got going on. I've been wrong every week. Yeah, Heath's got it going right now.
Yep, there it goes. I love it when they glide against the wall like that. It's today. So fun.
I picked Bubba to start out to win the 500, then Chase at Atlanta, SVG at Coda, Crybaby Logano at Phoenix, and
he hates Vegas. Logano just like me. It's amazing.
Yeah, despite the fact that I've met him twice.
Right. So, anything that we want to add real quick before we get to other stories here?
Yeah, other than that, I got my media certification by NASCAR in 2023. That year was a little bit different because I applied in 2021 and 2022 at the beginning of 2023, but they did a second round in 23, and I was the only one that got in 2023. And that process, we'll have to talk about that because we're going to get into that that story that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Just there are a lot of factors around that story that I think we need to cover.
Yeah, it's a weird topic, but we're gonna condense it down so that people on this podcast and people watching can understand it.
Go ahead.
By
the way, got my host of our shirt on. One of them, at least.
That's what's up. Number 77.
Directly from Carson's dad. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, anyway, make yourself at home, Alex. Chase and Higgins deal is great. If we could get Trey to come back, that would be great. Yeah, I don't know how the hell you structure the Trey Henderson deal. What's up?
Hey, Heath, is Iceman in the chat? I want to say hi to him.
He probably is lurking somewhere. He probably is. When he pops up.
If there's anything he wants to add when we get to the story, he can go right ahead.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that you guys on this panel would like to add when it happens, hey, speaking of which, there he is right there. Yeah, ask and he shall receive. He appears.
Also, I would say congratulations to Alex Pillow, but I did not want him to win today. That was the thing. I kind of wanted. I was really pulling for Pato or Lundgaard there at the end. I was really pulling for Lundgaard, but I was just like, you know what? I'll be happy if Pato gets it. At this point, I'm done with Pillow.
Oh, we're talking about IndyCar, right? I have not been keeping up with IndyCar for shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. We're talking IndyCar. I know just because Iceman brought up IndyCar, I figured I'd have to give my take on IndyCar.
Yeah. So, Justin, I wanted to go back a little bit before we get to the next topic because Tyler brought up the point here. How the hell do we sign Trey, Justin? How the hell do we do that deal?
Basically, I mean, you just give him the $30 million, I guess. Or I would at least offer him I think the Bengals offered him 28, and he still wouldn't take it, which that's a fair deal.
Oh yeah,
it's still technically a fair deal. I mean, I don't know what they're personally offering, but what I heard was 28, and he wants 29 to 30 million. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, let's be honest. Trey did that to himself when he signed that first contract.
Thank you. I've been saying that all this whole time. He fucked himself. He needs to get rid of his agent.
Mm-hmm.
He should have never signed the first.
Your agent sat there and let you sign that contract like that, knowing you was gonna want more money.
So to be honest, they don't have to pay him shit until 2 more years, I think.
Now I'm hearing reports that he's talking about he's considering sitting out.
Ain't gonna work that well, man. It's not, especially with the defense under enough criticism as it is already. It's gonna boil over into the into the season in 2025. I'll say that much.
I just hope they get something done soon.
Absolutely.
I hear noises the rain in the background, by the way, too.
I was about to say to sit out is crazy because you got permission to seek a trade.
But see, that's another mistake his agent made, though. His agent told the Bengals, hey, I guarantee you guys can get a first-round pick for my client if you let him seek a trade. And he never got that first-round pick. So that's on his agent. He needs to leave his agent. His agent is fucking it up for him. He could have had a deal done. He needs to take the T. Higgins route.
Right. I just get a pay cut for something that you're going to be worth. And like I said, do you go for longevity with him? I mean, do you go for the 6 years? Because he's been in the league for a little bit longer than Hubbard, that's for sure.
Yo, shout out Sam Hubbard too, by the way. But I don't know if you go longevity. I don't know if you go that long. But I mean, you can probably get him for like 3. I would offer him 3.
3, yeah, I agree. 3 years.
Just because he's 30. And it's like you don't know how he could be like Von Miller, if all we know.
Yeah. Facts though.
Yeah, it's like you pay him all that money and he's Von Miller. Not saying he will be, but
it's a possibility. Now, that's basically it's gonna be interesting how those next few weeks play out. Or Scott Boras 32, 2 to 3 years. Even Tyler agrees with us. We're about to go right up Tyler's alley here momentarily. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite. So,
Oh God.
Revolution was it had good matches, but the ending event was a stinker. So we decided, let's have a street fight between Edge and John Moxley, right? And
You mean Coop? Or was it Cope?
Or Cope, whatever the hell we want to call it. It's so stupid. So bad.
Yeah, that's like one of the worst names. That's worse than Dewdrop.
Don't get me started on that. But we're coming off. They want to be able to capitalize because John Cena hits that badass promo in Brussels, Belgium, right?
That was amazing.
And AEW's response to all that, there's a wooden pallet right here with nails in it. It's kind of like Mick Foley or Abyss with Janice, I think it was called. And this spot happens.
I call it Plank.
Or
from
Plank.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
But see, now that I think about it, that's probably why Brock Lesnar turned down some of the stuff he did with Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania. What ideas he had?
What are we doing here? Like, do you not stop to consider the fact that could go into like your spinal column and leave you paralyzed? It was already
Imagine if he missed time to flip and hit his head.
Right.
Is that Belgian acupuncture? If they're in Belgium?
About the size of it, huh, Alex?
Well, I remember. I go back to the episode of Zack and Cody when Maddie dresses up as a Russian nurse. Says, "You need some Russian acupuncture." Or something like that.
That's great. It basically is just like Zack and Cody, except with blood, practically.
I watch WWE, so
yeah, WWE has been killing it these past few days for sure.
This isn't WWE.
What's up?
This isn't WWE. This isn't WWE.
No, it's AEW.
I don't know the difference. I just watch WWE.
Right. Well, we don't blame you at this point.
Yeah.
You wanted to use a chainsaw? Yeah. Like, dude, like, what are you doing? It's like we're trying to follow up with Cena going heel, and this is the best that we could come up with. And if you listen to the response, I'll play the response here. Just listen to the crowd. The announcers sell it, but this part. It's always the vocal fans that are the loudest, and then the other guys are just looking like, what the fuck are we doing? That's just makes no sense, man. Made no fucking sense. And speaking of people that want to damage themselves, this next one, we're blazing right through these for the main event. In case you haven't realized, Alex, we're blazing through these stories.
Yeah, you're going quite fast.
I know. I did say within 45 minutes. We covered it on TV. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I noticed you guys tend to go long with a lot of these stories, but
oh yeah, we talk our asses off about these things.
But I think Iceman and the Flame Torch guy, whatever his name is, was that what was it? Yeah, Flame Torch, him. Wasn't that guy like Mad Blade or some shit?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah. He knows, those two know why we're here.
Yeah, they know why we're here. And even the guys on the panel, we foreshadowed it pretty well. I think Andy kind of has an idea on what we're talking about. Ain't that right, Andy? He's muted. Yeah, because we talked about this before. But this next thing, before we get to the main story, this is horrifying for me to read. Because we know a lot about concussions these days. We know about CTE. We've heard the horror stories, whether it be Aaron Hernandez or Chris Benoit or Junior Seau or even this recent saga with Antonio Brown. And now we're starting to see it in MMA with an absolute legend. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Do you remember I believe it was Jordan Fixon who didn't agree with one of Terrio's Congress policies, and he posted a pic. Either him or one of his buddies posted a picture of Terrio's, retweeted the post or the tweet on Twitter. I don't call it whatever Elon Musk calls it.
I still call it Twitter too. I don't.
Yeah, I don't. It's just stupid. But go ahead.
Either Jordan Fixon or one of his buddies retweeted that tweet with the picture of the accident that like practically ended Austin Terrio's career, and made fun of CTE. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you know about that or heard about that.
I think I saw something in like passing. You know, you hear about it, but you don't forget it. You don't think about it until like you bring it up. It's
fuck, dude. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'll tell you that I said a while back, Joseph Lombard, Jason Jacoby, Gio Trapani, and this main guy we're going to cover tonight, they don't belong on my website. Those are stories I will never cover that I don't think need to be covered.
Of course.
I mean, there is a case for Trapani, and we're going to get to him later too, I hope.
I might have to pull something up in regards to him, but continue.
Yeah, while I'm talking, do that. But anyways, Jordan Fixon is the type of dude that you need to cover because he is, well, these guys like Jacoby Trapani, yeah, I would say Trapani a little bit, and Lombard. We're going to get to Lombard later too.
Yeah, I have my own opinions reserved for that whole topic, but everything's going to come crashing down here momentarily.
We're going to talk about all that. We're going to break all these NASCAR stories down. But Jordan Fixon is the type of person who I just have to cover because not only can I not stand him, but because he was the dude that got Noah Gragson fired from Legacy Motor Club.
What? Damn.
Yeah. He also got me turfed from Seriously Fast.
Jeez. I've learned to distance myself from that shit. I'm just like, fuck, man. I'm not all for the headache at this point.
That story was worth covering simply because it had real world NASCAR effects. Granted, Jacoby and Trapani, and all the other three and this one today, yes, those were kind of related, but this one is actually impacting
the big story. It's the big one here. Well, before we get to that, let's just get to this one. So
go with this one.
So BJ Penn shows more cause for concern with conspiracy theory about mother. So for those of you who don't know, BJ Penn right here, UFC Hall of Famer, one of the greatest fighters. Like, he's a pioneer of the sport. And he's one of the only, I think it's 9 people to have double belts, have a belt in 2 different divisions. And that's a big list already. Randy Couture, Conor McGregor, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Alex Pereira, Amanda Nunes, just to name a couple. But it looks like he's showing signs of CTE, and we know the boogeyman stories, Hernandez, Benoit, all that stuff. But here it is. UFC fighter BJ Penn has been known to voice his share of wild conspiracy theories, but his latest is genuinely concerning. On Monday, Penn posted a pair of Instagram videos in which he appears to not recognize his mother. Penn believes that his mother has been murdered and replaced with another woman. Oh, my God. Let's just diagnose that for a moment. And I agree with Mr. T. This is early onset CTE right here. In the first two videos, Penn started with a selfie-style, expletive-filled message towards Paul Abele. The text caption overlaid on the video said, "Fuck the Abele family." It's just, with the help of the government, murdered my mom and brother. They're trying to steal everything from my family. What he's experiencing right here, this is early onset CTE. like full on CTE. Like to say these amount of delusions, like I really hope he gets help soon, for sure. It's just wild stuff. And I don't know, Justin, Charles, what do you guys have to say?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it went from Aaron Hernandez to Antonio Brown to just like everybody going crazy. So it's like I really
Because
can't even say much.
we've just seen the story so many times, and now it's starting to affect a lot of these old MMA fighters. And even BJ Penn's mom had to make a video talking about the whole thing. It's just wild.
I can't say, at least Antonio Brown makes his be funny, especially the post he put on Twitter. Like
his Twitter is hilarious, bro.
Oh my gosh! Remember when he called was it the Raiders head coach?
Oh, he called him a cracker and a bitch. It was so bad.
I couldn't remember if it was the head coach or somebody.
But now to the final story here. And there's a reason I have you on here, Alex, because as many of you I know you guys on the panel know, I've dabbled with the NASCAR community for a little bit of a while before I transitioned over to working with what's that? Wait, what does that say? Robin Williams had? Yeah, probably. I can't remember.
Robin Williams.
It might have been dementia. Early onset or CTE, takes one injury. Yeah, I forgot Dale Jr. I didn't know that wreck that he had in Talladega where Stenhouse like rear-ended him. I didn't know he got CTE from that.
Do you think Kenny Wallace is experiencing CTE?
What's that?
Do you think Kenny Wallace is starting to experience CTE? I say no, but there's questions. But he's just always been like energetic. He's got that laugh, you know?
Oh yeah, he's been way too energetic for his own good. I don't think it's CTE. Because also Kenny was a pretty clean driver. I don't think he was ever in any like big wrecks. Like
he's like Johnny Benson. He was just like always just like there.
Right. As opposed to someone like Ryan Newman, who's been in some of the most spectacular wrecks that we've ever seen, you know, whether it be his multiple wrecks that he's had at Daytona or Talladega, where he's just started flipping and shit, you know.
I think he suffered something. Maybe not necessarily CTE, but he has suffered something because he's, oh geez, I'm getting food all over here. But he said to me when I interviewed him back in 2022, I believe it was, he said he shouldn't be alive. But anyways, let's get into this story here that
God damn it, Tyler. So, as many of you all know, I've had my dabblings with the NASCAR community. I was a part of a NASCAR Heat League at one point. Shit fell through, and I wound up leaving because of personal reasons and all that. But I still stayed in touch and uploaded a bunch of stuff. We've talked about it on the podcast a lot. But there's a drama or a controversy that I got sucked into that involved you specifically, Alex. And we're here to make amends for all of that.
Oh, yeah.
We're here to make amends, and we're here to just beat the dead horse. The Horton Hears a Who, because this is one of the it's become one of the most useless dramas. But first, we have to show this.
But we got to preface this a little bit more. I'll tell you this, prefacing this story, in the words of Darren Riccardi, when he pulled his fist back and gave Claude Lemieux that hit right in the face at the Joe Louis Arena in 1997, karma's a bitch.
Yep, it's one of the greatest brawls ever.
And I'll tell you, when this came across my desk, when I checked, I'm so glad I checked my business email this day, because, yep, there it is right there, baby. Let's fucking go.
Anyway, let's play this shit. So to give you guys an idea, this story is not going to tell the full story. I'm gonna break it down here, all right? But let's play this video.
Okay, let me do this. This
I
story
know.
is gonna. This incident here that you're about to show. This is why I'm on the podcast, and this is why you and I and so many people, Iceman included, have wanted to make amends for what has happened. So go. Let's see this.
Let's play this. So this is from KCCI in what is it, Iowa?
A bounty hunter based in Des Moines is accused of impersonating a police officer several times. According to court records, Dustin McGee wore a uniform almost identical to a police officer's uniform and drove an unmarked 2023 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. Documents list multiple instances where McGee either represented himself as a police officer or did not identify himself as a bounty hunter while he was wearing the uniform. Last month, police executed a search warrant at McGee's home. Documents show they found firearms, tasers, and illegal mushrooms. Police say a 10-year-old child and a 6-year-old child had access to the firearms and drugs. McGee will be in court next week on multiple charges, including impersonating a public official and child endangerment.
Okay.
Uniform. And in Des Moines is a.
Let's pull up the mug. Let's pull up the mug. Pull up the mug. Pull up the mug. Let's diagnose the situation here. All right. So
I don't think an hour and a half gives us enough time to talk about this whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna, like I said, we'll have to condense it. And like I said, Justin, Charles, Andy, you have any questions while we go about this, don't be afraid to ask. All right.
You in the chat too. Ask away.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, ask away, because this is me and Alex have been a part of this whole bullshit for a while, and we're gonna catch everyone up to speed here. All right. I'm just trying to pull up some stuff on the side. So, reading between the lines here, what's on the surface here, Dustin McGee, he was someone that was on the YouTube community that was involved in law because, like they said, he was a bail enforcement agent. And claimed to be. Again, we don't know the full story of how that Ocon Enterprises thing works. But
I don't want to. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. This literally reminds me of that story of that kid in Florida who pretended to be a doctor. Dustin's pretending to be law enforcement.
Right. We're going to draw a similarity to another story that we pretty much know. I'm trying to pull up some stuff.
Patty Mayo?
No, not Patty Mayo, but it was something that me and you talked about. What's up? Sorry,
we lost Justin?
No, I don't think we lost Justin.
Okay,
I think Justin.
Let's go back. Oh, yeah, let's go back.
So, like I said, supposedly he was a bail enforcement agent, and he actually, to an extent, did build up some will within the NASCAR community, going after Jason Jacoby, going after the Linkers because of their bullshit in NASCAR heat. So he had a presence, right? And then the house of cards comes crashing down in a situation like this. And what happened is he started accusing people like Alex of some really heinous shit, which turned out, and like I said, Jason Kobe, the Linkers, I have my own reserves about the Joseph Lombard stuff, but we'll get to that momentarily. It all culminated on a stream in August of 2022 where Dustin had accused Alex of some really heinous shit. And everyone, for the most part, believed it because of, we were all burnt out with drama. All the messages and all that stuff just came out. It was like, whoa. And then everything stopped. Everything stopped for a moment. And then this article comes out from this news station in Iowa. Where
there's another one as well from Who 13 in Iowa. Just type in Dustin McGee Iowa into Google and boom, they're both up there.
Right. But yeah, the goodwill that he had built up, he starts accusing people of random shit, starts getting into beef with different types of YouTubers, including IDK Player and Black Flags Matter. And Alex was like, you are like his biggest victim. Like, he would just go after you like nonstop.
All because I exposed him as a clout chaser. It's one thing to be trolled in a video game, but it's another thing to be making 10, 12 uploads, 10, 12 uploads about the same people who trolled you in a video game.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
So the dude in the video right there, that's the dude that was bullying. He was bullying you on YouTube per se.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's it. That's the only question I had.
It's like you bully kids, sir.
God. Well, we crack all the jokes here, Alex. We're always roasting each other and shit. It's great. Oh, speaking of roasting, I just want to point out, I've seen your Twitter. Dude, the way that you go about roasting some of these people is fucking hilarious, by the way. It's like, damn, this guy's got a set of balls. I love it. Let's go.
So how did you get on his radar?
Are you asking me or are you asking Heath?
You.
Yeah.
Well, both
Yeah,
of y'all.
so
Both of y'all, really.
First of all, when the Joseph Lombard story happened, Dustin McGee was the first person that kind of like made people aware of it. And I only exchanged like 5 messages with him. Like, I didn't really know who he was. I mean, I knew he had a YouTube channel. I watched his videos. I subscribed to him for probably a total of like 2 weeks. Then I realized, okay, these uploads are like blowing my phone up. They're blowing up my YouTube app on my TV or whatever I was watching at the time. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I unsubbed from him. I do an interview with someone, not mentioning the name of the person who I interviewed. He gave me a news tip during that interview to where I made a YouTube video about Dustin, not only exposing him, but proving why all of his like the slanderous attack videos were not because he was trying to expose people, but he was trying to use them for clout and for his own good. Dustin goes ahead and he makes a grand total, Heath. I have these all in a Google folder. A grand total of 43 videos and streams about me. 43! That one video made him make 43 videos and streams. And also, Dustin has a right-hand man by the name of Thomas Geyer, who we're probably going to talk about as well.
Mm-hmm. So, to give people a little bit of context, my computer's all shorting out here. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to... So, for those of you that don't know about... here we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why my computer keeps freezing out on me. So, for those of you that don't know who Joseph Lombard is, he was a NASCAR YouTuber who... he got a lot of goodwill because of the death of his father, his, personality because of autism, which...
That dude got lucky, though. That dude, I hate to say it, that dude got lucky.
Right. Facts, Tyler.
Yes! Please roast the shit out of this dude!
So did he attack you too, BJ?
No, well, we're going to talk about my involvement here momentarily, but Joseph Lombard, he got accused of some really, the goodwill that he had from, his content, his father died. He started contacting a bunch of underage women? And supposedly...
I know some of them were underage, but a lot of them were really, really young.
Mm-hmm. So he did 4 women.
I think they were between the ages of 16 and 19.
Right. I did hear I think one of them might have been 14 as well. So let me see if I can pull up Joseph Lombard here. It's a lot, guys. So let's...
But I did read from one news source that the one really bad thing that Lombard did was faked. I don't know the validity of that. I don't know the validity of it. I don't know. Iceman, you might know, because I think he's the one that questioned it in my comments or something.
Razor Fist does have something in common. Facts.
But there were a lot of people who
that's just of Lombard, by the way. So it was the thing about the dick pic, which I think Dustin got sent a cease and desist about that. Here's my thing. I don't doubt that the thing with the dick pic was fake. I think they were being very truthful with that cease and desist because of the evidence of that chat log. But the stuff about the women, especially with the aforementioned Black Lives Matter coming forward in his Jason Jacoby video and saying that he did interview one of those women, I don't doubt that he did some shit behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's truly. I'm not saying he's fully innocent, but I'm saying like
right.
There's got to be more to the story that we still don't know.
Right, and a lot of those people, they're not coming out about it because they don't want to open that can of worms.
They don't want to.
I don't doubt that wasn't real. But so Dustin McGee
wait. You said you don't doubt that it wasn't?
Like I think they were being truthful and that was fake. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the person in that picture doesn't look a thing like Joseph.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But so, the women.
Here's my thing. All right, Joseph needs to come out and explain what. Listen, Joseph needs to do what I'm doing. All right.
Just come on a panel. Tell a story.
He doesn't need to make a video on his channel. He should just come onto a podcast and explain his side of the story.
There's plenty of outlets in the NASCAR community.
Exactly. And you know what? If Joseph ever would like to do an interview with a real journalist, he should contact me and I'll interview his ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we could get him on the podcast. I don't give a shit.
I know people who still talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I've got plenty of mutual friends with him still.
So,
but I don't know what he's up to. I haven't heard from him. I don't talk to him. I only had one encounter with him. But anyways, let's continue here.
So Dustin would LARP on this fact on the Joseph Lombard start. And he basically would, like you said, he would make a bunch of videos. And then, Alex, you went to plead your case about it, saying that you don't doubt that a lot of that's real and you don't doubt a lot of it's fake. And he goes to make all those videos about you. And it culminates in a video in August of 2022 where he accuses you of some pretty heinous, shit. I don't know. Should we talk about that fact? I'll let you talk about it.
Because here's the thing. He did it to other people before, but he never went to the lengths he did with me. And the reason that I remember this so well was because me and my family and friends were literally at the Michigan Cup race the Sunday before this happened. Because I was getting ready to move out and I was going to start my own life. It'd been a year since I graduated from, because I was attending Western Michigan at the time, but I was getting ready to move to the Kalamazoo area full time. And so my parents were just like, let's throw you you can do whatever you want this entire week. So I had all my friends over. I had, we went to the race. We had a great time. We drank a lot of beer. I'll say a couple of us were underage. When Dustin heard that I had a drink underage, he tried to have me arrested for it. Then again, there's literally, if you go on the Iowa State court docket, there's literally evidence that Dustin tried to purchase alcohol while underage. So
I haven't looked back at his prior charges. I only have the stuff
I got it all. I got it all.
So, does he know you personally?
No. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know where I live. Doesn't know any of that shit.
And all this is recent.
This was like, this is like over like, what is it, like a 2 or like 4 year period?
2.5 years ago. This was over 2.5 years ago.
It's been a whole thing for a while now. So,
but then, as you said, about a year ago, year and a half ago, it all just stopped abruptly.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Stopped like I think his like uploads tapered off, but then like 6 months ago, his videos were gone.
Yeah, you can't find his. The only place where you can find like any semblance of him being on YouTube is this channel right here, this archive channel, which we'll
go over later, I bet.
Yeah, well, I know. I probably know who the guy who did it. I know he's a friend of We're Gonna Lose. By the way,
I believe it is We're Gonna Lose.
He said it's one of his friends on his Twitter.
Okay.
If you scroll through that thing where he's talking about Dustin, that's where he makes the thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's a friend of mine that made this channel. So it's just.
I mean, I don't know a thing about We're Gonna Lose. I
don't know anything about him either. I'm like going through the computer, like doing research. I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
All right, so let's get into this. It's time I come out, be a man, and talk about it.
So should I go over like what you were accused of and everything that went forward from there?
All of it. Don't hold any bars.
All right. So in August of 2022, a report from Dustin came out that Alex was like sending like his feet pics or whatnot to what he thought was an underage girl or some bullshit like that. And a lot of us believed it because of the messages that were being displayed on the Discord. And they were them saying that they were an anonymous group hunting down pedos across the land. And a lot of us believed the messages because you got confronted with it and all this other shit. Well, turns out...
conducted an interview with me where he was basically chasing... Every time I did an interview with him, he was chasing me around in a circle until he got the answer he wanted.
Right. He would just...
Like, I went back earlier today and watched all those videos. Like, I could see, like, okay, I even had a therapist, like a licensed mental health expert say, I can hear the pressure. I can see the pressure. He's pressuring you into giving the answer that he wants.
Yeah, it's a common tactic used by a lot of law enforcement too, to like try to build rapport and then just start coming down on you, because it's not surprising to hear that given his line of duty, allegedly. But they accuse you of this heinous shit where you're sending pics to what is supposedly a minor and whatnot, and then it dies down. No one hears from you anymore. Dustin goes on uploading his body cam footage. But then some weird shit.
Even after I went radio silent, Dustin still hunted after me. You got.
Oh yeah, he made like 2 videos, I think.
It was way more than 2.
I mean, every one of us made a video. I made a video, which I'm over it at this point. But it's just like, God damn, Heath, what the fuck were you doing getting involved in this shit? But that's where my role came into this. I made a video. A lot of people did, like Chris Plays and Brian Griffin, Family Guy. I think, didn't Dr. B. Wacko make a video too?
Dr. B. Wacko, I think, made one. Brian Griffin, Family Guy fan made one. Chris Plays 2414 made 2. You made one. Cito Brown made one. Ian Perez made one.
It was just we were under the assumption that all the heinous shit was true, because whether you want to admit it, Alex, you were a pretty easy target with your dealings with a lot of this stuff going on here.
I'll say that, I
have a good one, Todd. Mm-hmm.
Because of my connections, and I really trace all this back to when I started to build my reputation in the racing community.
Right.
Here's a guy with with no following, with, sits in his, at the time I was living, in my parents' house, living with my parents.
Nothing wrong with that. I live with my parents too.
Had just spent time playing video games, buying diecast, working in a, working my customer service job I had. Who is this? The people are like, who the hell is this guy? And how is he interviewing Alan Bestwick? How is he interviewing Johnny Benson? How is he interviewing all these people? How is this even possible? Well, I knew people. I mean, it's not. A lot of people thought that they saw that and they're just like, hey, can you get me in touch with whoever? No. I mean, the answer was always no. And the answer, because you don't just get something by asking for it. You get it by, because when I was getting my bachelor's, when I was taking literally intro to journalism, my professor said it's like a triangle or a pyramid, and you got to go up the pyramid.
It's like playing Mortal Kombat. You gotta fight some assholes to get up to Shao Kahn.
I don't play that, but at the bottom,
I know.
That's where I started, at the very bottom. Granted, maybe I started at like step 2 or 3 because I already had connections. But people knew who I was because of Jason Jacoby. Granted, that. But then they start seeing like, okay, how's this guy with basically no subscribers interviewing these people? How's he getting in touch? Maybe I pulled the William Byron thing and was just sitting in my bedroom, but then I had a pretty major connection in Jeff Striegel from MRN in my back pocket that I could just play that card.
Is that the guy who introduced him to Jimmy Johnson?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I remember I saw something on Austin.
William Byron was Jimmy Johnson's next door neighbor.
Oh, no shit! Really? That's nice.
So, yeah, William Byron probably has the deepest pockets in NASCAR.
And he had the deepest connections because, like you said, he lived right next to Johnson and, he did the iRacing and people recognize his talent, that kind of thing.
Well, okay. And they build it up like he got taken out of his computer chair and put in a race car. No, that's not how it works. He got taken out of his... He thought he got taken out of his race car or taken out of his computer chair and put in the Cup Series. No, that's not how it works. He got taken out of his race car and put in a Legends car.
Mm-hmm. So we all had this assumption that, man, Alex was really guilty of this shit because of the Discord conversations and whatnot. But then little information starts coming out. You start doing that interview with Chris Plays. Brian Griffin makes a video saying you're innocent and all that. What really happened was you were sick at the time. The
pictures were taken.
Mm-hmm. Pictures were taken. And this individual, this was a case where Dustin himself was running this same Discord that these supposed hunters were in. And we have a screenshot to prove it, by the way, which I am going to present here momentarily. And it was a situation of entrapment where they were basically trying to have you commit a crime. They were trying to entrap you into committing a crime for clout, which has happened a lot with a lot of these, like, especially recently with a lot of these predator catchers. Now, they don't want to go to the police. They just want to confront their guy in a gas station and start beating the shit out of them. It's like, if you have information, why are you going to the one guy that hates this dude's guts? Why aren't you going to their police?
That's what should have happened if I was really what they said I was.
Right.
And I can't believe I am stunned. I am pissed off that it took the NASCAR. I'm still upset that it took the NASCAR community a year and a half to come to their senses and realize if I really was that, why didn't these hunters contact the police? Why do they go to some? Because at the end of the day, Dustin was just some random guy on the internet. He was some random guy on YouTube making stupid, pointless videos, slandering people, and showing his body camera footage that's probably staged.
Now,
he's just a random guy. He's not law enforcement, as it says right here.
Yeah, it's basically he was just. And here's the thing with bounty hunters, and I think
If you go on Dustin's Twitter, there is a picture of him. There's a picture of him standing in front of the Iowa State Capitol building, dressed in a full police attire outfit.
Right, and it's even it says so in this article by that same company. McGee questioned a Johnston man who was under the impression that McGee was a police officer. McGee wore a uniform the report described as almost identical to that of a peace officer working patrol, and drove an unmarked 2013 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. Which, even then, if you have green and white lights, I mean, you still can't go around. Let me tell you all how bounty hunting works. They're not state. They don't work for federal. They literally work with bail agencies, bond agencies to carry out their contracts, to carry or help law enforcement capture fugitives on the law. You know, I regret getting into this. I regret it too. For me, it was just I was burnt out from the NASCAR community. That's my reasoning. But yeah, I shouldn't have been in it too. But we're making amends. We're here on this podcast to talk about all of it. We're airing out the dirty laundry because you know what? Fuck it, might as well. But yeah, because of let's just diagnose this situation here. Well, we're going to read the rest of this article here. A search warrant for Ankeny police. Ankeny police. It's so hard to pronounce. Damn it. Ankeny police obtained for McGee's home indicates there was probable cause to search his property. Documents of their findings indicate the department seized body cameras, a hard drive, as well as hallucinogenic mushrooms. Court documents also state police found loaded weapons in an area accessible to McGee's children during the search. Okay, so let's take this for a moment. Let's just take everything I just said. A YouTuber involved with law who had somewhat of a good standing with NASCAR because of his recent events gets driven mad by his own throne, accuses someone of some really heinous accusations, and eventually gets arrested with drugs and weapons near children. Would you be surprised to know, guys, that this isn't the first time I've heard this story?
Oh.
Would you like to know the one time I've heard this? Would you like to know the one person this Dustin reminds me of?
Oh.
It reminds me of this guy right here, Nick fucking Rekieta. And everyone in Geeks and Gamers right now, that description should be setting off massive alarm bells. Because what was Nick Rekieta? A YouTuber involved with law who built good standing because of his coverage of Kyle Rittenhouse, the Johnny Depp trial. He got driven mad by his own throne and accused someone of being a pedophile even, and got arrested with drugs and guns near his children. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds pretty fucking familiar. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you.
Almost sounds too familiar.
So is the beef over with?
Yeah, technically, this is our chance to air out the laundry. The beef is done. And
there's
Alex,
no way for him to hide anymore, really.
There isn't. And even if he tries to get on a platform, it's like everybody knows so much about this that people are like, who the fuck are you bullshitting? And I look at
you gotta go on my channel. You gotta go on my YouTube channel.
Right.
Like, you gotta see my 2 community posts.
Like, who the fuck is he bullshitting anymore? And then let me I pulled up this note here, Alex, because I looked at the charges. I will say I did look at everything. I'll let you answer this while I pull up this thing. Okay.
I'm gonna give you one chance right now.
But here's the thing. I broke down everything. Here's the screenshot of all the charges that you sent me and whatnot. At minimum, he's looking at 2 years and 30 days. At maximum, 10 years and 90 days.
And he's probably going to get stripped of his... If he is a bail enforcement agent, he's probably going to get stripped of his license.
Right. You would have to be running shit like that. It's really, man, like, I brought this up on a video. I was watching a Mediker. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Mr. Mediker, Destroyer?
No.
Yep. No. Oh, man. He's basically the Solid Snake of the internet, man. He's like an urban legend among us. You know, he was breaking down a drama that happened with this guy named Jonathan Ross, he got notoriety because he was on a stream talking about how he looked at little children in bathtubs. You know, it was really, really sick shit, right? And I brought up the point, it's like, you know, we talk about all these big YouTubers, you know, like your Boogies or your Mr. Beast and all this other shit, but it's these small communities that do way more damage. And I think even you would agree with me on that, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
It's these smaller communities, they always have like this superiority complex that we're on top of the world. You know, we're going to try to make a change. And we're just going to start doxing people left and right. Those of you that don't disagree with our insanity. It's just fucking horse shit. Every last part of it. Man.
That's sick.
It's fucking nuts, Justin.
You want to look at little kids in the bathtub.
It's fuck. It's always the small YouTubers. When you hear about it with the big YouTuber, they're gone. They're gone. We already know the thing with Toby Turner. We know the thing about Chris Tyson. But when it comes to the small tubers, no, they get to hang out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, Dustin even tried to brand himself as a big name YouTuber.
Yeah, and like you said, he got upset with 2 big YouTubers because they trolled him in a video game. Boo fucking who? You know how many times Andy and Charles and Justin here troll me in GTA or troll me in college football? It fucking happens all the time.
But he also was, I don't know what the hell he wanted. Did he want clout off of them? I don't fucking know.
But like I said before, Alex, you were an easy target because you were going after a lot of some shit like Jason Jacoby and this fucking asshole right here, Gio Trapani. Oh
God, that's a completely other story.
Oh shit! I closed the damn tab instead of switching it. Fuck!
Hey, you know what? While you get that going, let's have Iceman and Mad Blade, whatever you guys name, whatever his fucking name is now. You guys ask questions because like that's what we're gonna do. But like, yeah.
Or any of you guys on here can ask questions too. You know,
of course.
So you brought up Patty Mayo. It's crazy because I used to watch him all the time. That's crazy.
Right.
Him, Bounty Hunter D, and a bunch of them.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, this story right here, I mean, this made a lot of people attack me for going after this dude.
All right, I'll read the article here real quick. So, Alex, you had a lot of dabblings, and you were an easy target. This is the one, I want to ask how you're doing on this, by the way, but this is the one where you got a lot of your notoriety from. So this guy, his name is Gio Trapani. So Gio Trapani, he was a courtesy clerk at the Kroger on 23 Mile Road in New Baltimore, which is about, how far is it from us, guys? Like 30 miles? I mean, 30 minutes? I mean...
Oh, so you guys are local. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
a few
know.
hours from you guys. I'm only a few hours from you guys.
Absolutely. We have someone from Michigan in our squad, by the way. But Gio Trani was a courtesy clerk at the Kroger on 23 Mile Road in New Baltimore, bagging groceries and getting carts from the parking lot. This all ended after he said he started getting bullied by coworkers, and he says it went on for months. I wanted him to learn how to talk to people, treat people, be out in the community, be able to take care of himself. Gio's mother, April Francie, what a name, what a last name. After a bit of searching, 23-year-old Gio, who had autism, landed a new job at New Baltimore. So basically, this guy was newsworthy because he was bullied working at Kroger. How did he go into the NASCAR community, Alex? That's the question I wanted to ask.
We don't know. Really, because he didn't really have a big following.
Right.
Like he had like no following.
Even after the story.
He basically wanted to. He thought he was probably. He thought he wasn't even on the pyramid, and he was trying to get to the top of. He thought by making friends with one person, he'd get to the top of the pyramid.
It's really weird. It's a weird situation with that, and he likes. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I know he did stalk you. Like, why did he stalk you? Because it felt really weird. I think a lot of people in the community, they were weirded out because there's this autistic man who got big off a news story, and he kept targeting you. Like, what happened exactly there?
It was so weird. Like, there's an autistic dude who lives in my state who knows who I am through Ultimate 23 Dragon, but so we'll get to that. So he sees me interviewing Alan Bestwick, Johnny Benson, Larry McReynolds, those big name people.
Of course.
Well, I'm no Darian Gilliam. I'm no Erica Stepp. I'm no, Danny Baldwin. I'm no Jarrett Lundberg. I'm none of those guys.
Or slap shoes.
Gio is trying to get in good with those guys to elevate his social media following. You go on his YouTube channel, there are a bunch of videos of him talking aimlessly into a smartphone camera. Dude, that's not how it works. You can't. Gio doesn't have any videos that he's editing. He doesn't have any notoriety. He doesn't have like me, he doesn't have a college degree. He doesn't have anything that I have. He doesn't have connections. So he thought if he could follow me on Twitter,
he could weasel his way to that notoriety by following you.
He thought if he got in good with me, he could weasel his way into the NASCAR industry and play it to his advantage. And he thought because he had autism and because of this story, he thought that he would be successful. Of course, he wasn't. But he didn't start stalking me. I didn't know he was stalking me until Ultimate 23 Dragon uploaded probably her most infamous / famous video, where she and I went to Berlin Raceway and met Johnny Benson in person.
Awesome.
So you was bullying on an autistic kid?
No.
No. There's actually more to this story.
That Charles is giving you shit. That's why.
When litigation started,
go ahead.
When litigation began to get started, I can publicly disclose this now. I have opened a case against not only Gio, but both of his parents.
Yeah, because both his parents would be liable for letting him go rampant, right? Charles was just making a joke, by the way. Like, okay. I'm autistic, and I thought that was fucking funny.
Yeah, so, yes, my lawyers and we are trying to find we haven't submitted anything because we haven't found any. We're trying to make sure his parents are held liable for his actions simply because he's autistic. We want to know how responsible they are for what he's done. So,
right. it's a blurry area for sure, because you would have to prove that there was some competence when the whole situation was going down. You know what I
they
mean?
just play that. He uses that card to play the system. That's what bugs me so much.
Yeah, it's a really slippery slope. Like, for example, like I just said, I have autism, I have ADHD and all that, but at the same time, I'm aware of my actions.
So is he.
I'm aware of what I'm trying to do. They would have to prove in a court of law that what he was doing, like he was not in a what's it called, a sedative enough state to warrant his actions. You know what I'm saying?
If
like with
you
medication.
watch this video, you can clearly see he can formulate a sentence together. He can talk clearly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, but where's his head at? You know what I'm saying? It's not like I know where.
He thought that if he got in good with me and was on my podcast, people would want to associate with him more, and that's not true. That's not fully. That's not how that works.
No, you have to have connections, man. You have to have, like, I'll give you the best example. A lot of people don't know this, with Geeks and Gamers, for example, the reason I became a big thing and why I was able to get in contact with a lot of people, that's because, one, I was on a lot of Ryan Kinnell's Patreon streams, and two, I did a news article. It's actually one of my best videos. A video about a bar that wouldn't air any NBA games because of LeBron James's comments towards that shooting that happened in Columbus. I went and interviewed that bar and made connections with a lot of those people. And I made a video about it, and that they basically welcomed me in. So it's not about just following people. You have to interact with people. You have to talk to people.
Gio was going around using Ultimate 23 Dragons term YouTubian buddies
as an excuse.
Basically saying, I'm YouTubian buddy. I only said that we were buddies to Jeff Gordon because he tried to reach out. Jeff Gordon followed him on Twitter. God only knows why. But he tries reaching out to. I'm literally about to block him. I go to his Twitter to block him. And I see he's followed by Jeff Gordon. And jokingly, I ask him, hey, can you get Jeff Gordon to follow me? Ha, ha, ha. You know, and he actually tries. He's like, hey, Jeff Gordon, would you mind following my buddy Alex Wood? And I was like, oh, my God, what did I do? Yep. And so then he starts going on this rampage. I mean, he finds my private Instagram, starts trying to follow it. I keep rejecting him. It's
a wild situation, man. It's
then
wild.
I told him, hey, I go onto my business one I had at the time. I said, hey, stop requesting to follow my private account. I'm not accepting it. He's like, okay. Then I blocked him on both accounts. Less than 5 minutes later, I get a message on Twitter, and it's from Gio saying, hey, man, I'm sorry I requested to follow you on Instagram. And he's like trying to justify what he's doing, saying, I just want to be friends with you and Ultimate 23 Dragon and Caitlin Benson and also the Next Star Weekly podcast. I want to be on your podcast. I just want to do all this stuff. I have autism, blah, 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 blah.
It's wild, wild shit, man.
He wanted to date Johnny Benson's daughter.
What?
And he thought this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to Berlin.
I'm
meet
done.
Johnny Benson and Carson Hocevar. And then he wanted to meet the two of them, get in good with them, and then meet and date Benson's daughter, and also play the NASCAR industry to his advantage. Here's the deal, okay?
Jesus
I
Christ.
guarantee that if Gio got anywhere near either one of them, he most likely
would have gotten smacked.
No, he would be. Well, first of all, he's blacklisted from NASCAR because of this.
Really? I didn't know that. That's some shit.
So he's blacklisted from NASCAR because of me. I told Jeff Striegel. Jeff banned him from Berlin. It got out to the other short tracks in Michigan. We have three We have 3 weekly racing tracks here. Berlin, Birch Run, and Owasso now. He's literally banned from every short track in Michigan.
Jesus.
I know another guy from South Bend who knows people at IRP where Gio also wants.
Are we talking Notre Dame, South Bend? Like over in that area? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Lakeview. But
Lakeview. Yeah, I know where that's at.
You know the name Irish Saunders, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's a friend of mine.
Awesome shit there, man. Like them connections, man. Them connections. But
why is y'all community so toxic?
Because there's a lot of enablers, man. There's just tons of enabling bullshit. People thinking that because they're number 1 in iRacing or their track leagues, there's just so much ego that goes into the community.
Or they meet a driver at some random autograph session.
Right. Yeah, it's all ego because of how.
Hey! I know I'm wearing a Hocevar shirt, but goddamn,
at least you're willing to own up to that, unlike some other people, Cowboys fans.
See, the thing is, I know I look like a Hocevar fan, but I'm really not. I'm just wearing this shirt because it was a gift.
Right, but like you said, it's because there's so much egos with that sport because everybody. It's all about accessibility. You don't get accessibility.
What bothers me is that Hocevar fans in particular, they see me hanging out with him, and then
they get pissed off. They get pissed
off thinking, well, what's this rando guy doing? Oh, wait, he's a journalist. Well, hey, Carson, I'm a journalist too. Well, Carson I even brought this to his attention. I said, Carson, why won't you say something? He says, because I've got sponsors, I've got a career, I've got this, I've got that.
Yeah, you don't want
to say anything.
Right.
I know he's probably going to hear about this, but, Kenny Wallace said that about Jimmy Johnson, that Jimmy Johnson supports what Kenny does. He just can't say it to him. He just can't publicly say it. And I've had other people in NASCAR, like, for example, Ray Heim, the father of Corey Heim, does not like me because I'm friends with Carson.
That's understandable though because of that whole truck series bullshit. That's
because of the 2023 championship race.
That was such.
But look who went to the Cup Series first. Is all I'll tell you.
Yeah, that is true. But
I will say the reason Hocevar is where he is and not like an Evan Shotko or any of those big name Berlin guys who you guys have heard, like Brian Campbell. Well, Brian Campbell works a full-time job, but
right.
Or Joe Bush, who's raced there for years.
I will say this, right? To answer Charles's question real quick, NASCAR, the online community is toxic as shit. The in-person shit is great. It's just because people have these egos. Because like you said, Alex, they meet these drivers, they get autographs and shit. They have all this accessibility. And there's
no better accessibility in any other sport than motorsports.
Right. And you're not going to get that accessibility with NFL, or maybe you can get it with the NBA if you have the right connections. You don't get it with MLB. You don't get it with MLS. You don't even get it in hockey. Like NASCAR is the only place where you can have that accessibility.
What's funny is like the NHRA is more accessible than NASCAR. You can literally walk up to, Ron Capps' pit and ask him for his autograph.
Right, because they do
say, hey, Ron Capps. Hey, Brittany Force. Hey, Greg Anderson. Hey, Angel Sampe.
Hey, Doug Coletta. Can I get an autograph,
Fuck Doug Coletta. I don't care if he's from Michigan. I hate him. But
wow, that's interesting. But go on.
You don't see the NHRA community this bad. You get a little bit of it in IndyCar, but oh my gosh. NASCAR
in Formula One, it's fucking retarded because you have those Lewis Hamilton simps going off.
Exactly. Excuse me, exactly. And, you know, I really hope you're going to allow the podcast to be extended, because we gotta circle back to this Dustin McGee thing for a second.
Yeah, we're going to circle back here. So there is one kind of crucial. Actually, what are you going to say? What do you want to say? I mean,
I want you to ask the questions you have about the night the incident occurred.
Well, I will say, Matt, Verstappen fans too. Oh yeah, the Verstappen fans, they're just as insufferable, and I know this because
I very much like how your username is Iceman, yet your profile.
He has like fire. It's like a house on fire. It's so bad. But there was one piece of evidence that kind of did it for me, honestly. It's this one. I'm going to show it right here. That folder that you sent me is pretty big, but it's just this one right here, right? So this is the account that accused you of sending like feet pics. But wait a minute. What's this? Hold on. One mutual server. Wait.
And why is the Dustin McGee stream? I can't believe I didn't see that.
Yeah, why are you sending a stream out to somebody, including this stuff about Looney and IDK player? I think that was the stream where they were talking about you and Mary, if I'm not mistaken. Was that?
Yeah, Dustin was literally making up facts about me, trying to get me to admit to it.
Right. It's like, why would you start your message off by sending a video? Now, I personally have joined one of their Discords. They never did that with me. It just seems a little bit too auspicious to be sending, like, having this guy join a Discord, and then you send them a video, and they're like, hello, we need to talk. Literally seconds later. That makes no fucking sense. And I think it's like...
And that was literally... Go back to that first screenshot.
Yeah.
Does it 3:30 p.m.?
No, it's 3:35. Now look at this. Now look at this one.
The incident happened
and then
that night.
And then 3:35 p.m., literally seconds after you send a video. Why would you have to send it? Unless you're trying to get a friend request confirmed. And why is it that why is it that you have this right here? Why are you automatically friends with the guy? You know, shouldn't that automatically just say, add friend or whatever the fuck? I mean, that's probably not the best argument that I have, but it just, this part right here where you just send the video and then they just get right into talking. That makes no fucking sense to me. Unless, of course, we don't know what happened in this Discord per se, but it just feels really, really weird. Even then, if there was a conversation in that Discord, it just seems too much of a coincidence to be starting that conversation off right after a video is sent. It makes no fucking sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think that was kind of like the smoking gun when it came to that whole thing.
That should have been the telltale sign that this was not gonna go good.
No. It's those small things that really do make a difference. Sure, you might
be a good journalist is your ability to discover facts and interpret them and include them into a story, not what you have. Because I think everyone was just so burnt out with, pedophiles and drama and me and Gio Trapani. I almost said Gio Jacoby, but everyone was so tired of me and Gio Trapani is a pedophile too. I mean, he literally harassed a 17-year-old girl when he worked at. This is what happened at Kroger's. Okay, number one, he never did his work. He always would come up with, I have autism. I have scoliosis. Number two, they were already doing that stuff to each other. But when they got to him, he didn't. But when they got to him, he used it as an excuse to claim bullying. But before that, they had complained to their managers several times about Gio. But before that, he was harassing a 17-year-old girl. Keep in mind, Gio was 23 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Gio, you are 30 years old. Get out of mommy's basement. Get over the fact that you have autism. Be a fucking man and stop trying to play the fucking system. The last fucking thing you want is for my folder on you to go in front of a judge. You are going to get put away. There is no way that a judge is going to listen to your little whiny tangent. And I'll tell you this right now. If you try to plea insanity, guess what, buddy? You are going straight to jail because you can't do that.
You know, Justin, we always talk about my rage, and when I go off, holy shit, we've topped it. We've fucking topped it. Let's fucking go. Let's go, Alex. Yeah. Let it all out. You got all that piss and vinegar, man. But I wanted to reroute to a point that you brought up. You know, when it comes to journalism and it comes to running a podcast, you know, when it comes to doing any like investigative shit that we do, and trust me, we've done a lot of it on this channel. I've done it with Darian with the whole plagiarizing thing. I don't know if you know about that, Destroyer.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows about that. I didn't cover it because it wasn't as big of a story.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, like, I mean, it was only one video, so, like...
Oh, it was... What do you mean? Like, his actions?
I believe so.
It was several. There's, like, a whole, like a whole thing. There, I think someone even uploaded, like, a 25-minute video of all the videos he plagiarized. And it wasn't even just the fact that he was doing it off articles. I even found him doing it on Twitter when he ripped off that one dude from Hendrick Motorsports that was talking. Yeah, the part where he was talking about Ricky Rudd at Martinsville, where he got like heat exhaustion and whatnot. That insert where he's talking about helmets, that came from a video that he did that Hendrick Motorsports did talking about the equipment manager for Chase Elliott. So that whole segment was deep. I even had to do a lot of research into that, not just the stuff that was out there. But it's not.
But then again, you know, that's not really a story I would cover.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword.
Even though I did cover the time Alex Pillow bought a YouTube channel full of sex bots. I mean,
that's some shit. But like I'm trying to get at here, you know, when it comes to stuff like the Darian plagiarizing shit, or the video that we just did recently on Razor Fist, which a lot of people hated what me and Tyler had to say about that because of, there's discrepancy with this one video. Just because one video was taken out of context, it doesn't change the fact that Razor Fist is a dick. And then the one that me and Andy did, talking about Highlight Heaven. I don't know. Andy, do you remember that video when we were talking about Highlight Heaven and him insulting the intelligence of his fans?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like a 40-minute video that we did. Like, we've actually had to bring evidence, and we had to look deep into shit. Like, this screenshot right here, it doesn't mean jack fucking shit when you look at it like this. But when you zoom in, the little details, they start fleshing themselves out. And a lot of us were just, like you said, Alex, we were too burnt out because of all the prior drama, you know, whether it be with Jason Jacoby or the whole segment with you and Gio, or Mary, you know, she had some shit going on. It was a lot of stuff I can't even remember off the top of my head. And then we had Joseph Lombard. Everyone just got burnt out, and we just accepted everything at face value when it was the worst decision ever. And when we looked back on it, we're like, what the fuck? Damn, the answer was right there in front of us. We were just too ignorant to think about it. And it just creates this boogeyman monster. And unfortunately, that boogeyman monster got pinned on you. And that's why this podcast is being made.
I mean, really, you gotta go back and, if you want, you can just ask the general questions about what happened the night the incident occurred.
What do you? Oh, you mean that night, like when that incident happened?
Yes.
Like, because I know you said that you had your. Okay, let's set the scene here. You were really sick at the time.
No.
Okay.
Go back to the Friday after Michigan, 2022.
Okay.
That Saturday, I'm getting ready to move out. House is practically empty. Or my room, my stuff is basically in the garage, loaded up on a U-Haul, all that shit. There's some stuff I'm leaving at my parents' house, but everything's in the U-Haul. Well, we decided we would have a party that night, like a going-away party.
Okay.
We had a completely, bare house. My parents were moving out. I was moving out. We basically had a house cooling party,
Yeah, like a going-away party, practically.
Well, me and my friends, a couple of us, myself included, were underage at the time. We got a little wasted.
Right.
One of them, the most wasted one, goes on to my computer, says, "Hey, my phone died. Can I use your computer to go call an Uber?" I was in a Discord server. A make new friends Discord server.
Right. Okay.
And I didn't know that this account was in there. Well, my friend says, "Hey, can I use your Discord? Can I use your computer?" Discord was open.
Right.
As drunk as he is, he starts messaging people. So I'm just like, all right, I'm eating food and all that shit. Well, I had pictures saved on my computer because I was being treated.
Is it these ones that were? Is it these ones that we're showing right here? Are those some of the pictures?
No. Those were already saved on my computer for like my headshot.
Okay.
Because I was gonna have a professional headshot taken. So
okay.
That's kind of like, because I had those on file for what did I want to look like? Did I want to go with the long hair and wait a little while? Did I want to go back to the short buzz cut? What did I want to do?
I need to get a buzz cut again. I gotta get a buzz cut.
Moving on from that, my friend is making up all this shit. Keep in mind, this account said that they were 17, and I was legitimately 19, so was my friend. That wouldn't have been enough to say pedophile, first of all. Second of all, why were there no explicit images sent? Third of all, the pictures that were sent were pictures I took of my arms, were pictures I had previously taken of my arms and my feet, mainly because my feet were swelling up from the medicine, because I was on prednisone and lithium at the time.
Yeah, was that when you were sick? Was that when you were like sick at the time?
That's when I was like radio silent on social media.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
I was being treated for a heart condition.
Dude, fucking relatable. Heart condition right here.
Thankfully, I'm good now. So they put me on prednisone. They put me on another steroid. They put me on lithium. Now, lithium, if you did not know, makes your feet swell.
That I did not know. That's interesting to know.
Well, it was making my feet swell really bad. If you could see the... thankfully, you don't have the... I don't think the screenshots are in there. Don't pull them up. But
I won't. If you don't want to, I will confirm though that those screenshots do exist. Continue.
But anyways, those pictures only existed for medical purposes. And I had no idea. I had no idea they were not stashed in the medical folder. That they were stashed just out in the open.
My God, it wasn't a horse
And
folder.
so Steven, my friend, he's since passed away. We stopped talking because of this whole thing. He then passed away about 3 months ago.
Sorry for your loss, man.
No, he's not a friend of mine, but I did talk to his parents. And they said I had to own up to this because if they didn't, they were going to sue me for using his name to confront Gio. When I had Steven's written consent to do it.
Yeah, so basically this was just a massive jumble up with communication because of one bad drunk night. Is that where I'm getting at with this?
Yes.
Okay.
I had no knowledge of it until my phone started ding, 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 ding. This is going off at like 4 a.m. Everyone's already left. My phone goes silent. I'm getting I'm getting text messages. I'm getting calls from out-of-state numbers, out-of-the-country numbers. I get a call from someone literally called an area code that I was living at the time. They got we looked into the number. I called police to track the number. They found it was one of those. They said it's either one of those Walmart track phones or a Google Voice number.
Or it could have been like one of those virtual voicemails that you kind of have on like when it's built into like Cricket or something like that.
It was either a track phone or a Google Voice number that they were using.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what police tracked it to. From what I heard, someone who was secretly defending me contacted the FBI about this.
Go on. What did they say?
That's all I know is that the FBI was made aware of this, and Dustin did have a run-in with the FBI because of this.
Huh? Where do you know where
the person? They were under a screen name. I don't remember who it was. They said I got a call from this detective saying that the FBI were at Dustin's house. Yeah, go back. Go show those Facebook screenshots.
Which ones? This one right here?
Yeah. I want to talk about this, or at least we get a consensus on it. So basically, tell me where you got these screenshots from.
From your personal folder in regards to the whole situation with Dustin, and they're saved on my end. And I can confirm that this is exactly what it is.
Yeah, so
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you just tell me what you're seeing here.
So, you want me to read it out loud? Okay, I'll read it out loud.
No. You tell me what you can read it out loud if you want to, but just tell me what you think we've got here.
So, I want everyone in the chat and everyone on this panel to just listen to the words that's going to be expunged from my mouth on this one, okay? So, this is from Yed Sector, whatever what type of fucking name is that for an anonymous Facebook thing? Hey, PDF file, I have a lot of evidence against your name. If you want us to keep quiet, how about we make a deal? 24 hours to respond. I can ensure your anonymity. Can't pronounce
anonymity.
Shit. Anonymity. I can't pronounce.
That's what they're trying to say. Anonymity.
Anonymity. If you respond. That does not sound like someone that's being confronted with like pedo shit. That sounds like something you would hear from a scam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the type of.
Continue on. Zoom out. Show them what's up.
What we got? Missed audio calls. We got missed audio calls out the ass here. Where is it at? How many audio calls did he send you? Jesus Christ. 3 hours left. Yeah, this sounds like something that you would send to someone if you're trying to scam them for shit. On God. Who are you? How did you get my number? What do you want? Money? That's what I would think. If I was in that situation, I would assume that they were just trying to scam me.
I would have reported him.
Same. Wild shit. Man, these are all jumbled up because I looked at them in different order. That's why I'm having to scroll in and out, by the way, Alex. I'm broke on crypto. Yeah, it just this is like the smoking gun in all this horse shit. Just this text right here, that's the smoking gun that just derails anything. Really. And it basically exposes the bullshit that you were manipulated into some really stupid shit.
First of all, I've got the chat pulled up here. Flame Torch 97. Corbin Forrester, that story was proven false.
I did hear that was proven false. I did hear about that.
That was someone who used Corbin Forrester's name to try to get clout, like Dustin would often do.
So did you make a deal?
You piece of shit, Charles.
No, but I did get police involved. Wait, hold on. I'm looking through here. If it was when I was burnt an old wood cabinet last year. Oh, I thought it would be funny. Okay. That's funny. That's funny.
That is funny.
Iceman, what else did he say? I know that courts don't like using his YouTube videos as evidence against somebody, but this has to be used against Dustin, in my opinion. What do you mean exactly, Iceman?
I think he meant the screenshot with the Discord mess. Yeah, the Discord messages.
So
right?
a lot. So my thing about whether that was this or the Gio Trapani story, when I went to law enforcement with it, I actually did not compile the stuff of just me.
Mm-hmm.
I compiled their harassment towards other people too.
Yeah, which I can
basically
confirm that was
like, hey, this is not just towards me. They've done it to other people too.
It's a signature that's his MO, his modus operandi, basically.
Exactly. Now, I want to get in touch with Iceman here. If he could drop his Discord in the chat. Yeah. Austin Oganoski's video. I don't know exactly. Honestly, I think Oganoski needs to do a video on this. Not on me per se, but on just Dustin in general. Because
here's the thing. Isn't this podcast enough? I mean, I even asked that when I did my rant about Geeky Pixie. He was like a catfish that got caught in the game.
The opportunity that I have, I see this as the opportunity that I have to explain my side of the story. No offense to you, Heath, but I think Austin could do a lot more than just.
Oh, you mean Austin? I thought you were talking about me. Yeah, Austin could do a lot more. Austin could do tons more than I could on this whole situation.
I think because look what he did with Jason Jacoby. Look what he did with Joseph Lombard. Look what he did with Alex Pillow. I wish his video about Jordan Fixon was still up. Austin could really do.
It's the same thing.
My Discord is Real Destroyer H6, same as my YouTube.
Okay, cool. But Austin can do a lot more damage than I could. Like, I'm here to just make sure we make amends for all this shit, man. Because
you kind of have a skewed view of this.
Right.
You were personally involved. You take Austin Oganoski, who's got no connection to Joseph Lombard or me or to Dustin McGee.
And he'll get more out of it because he's a little bit more unbiased with everything. That makes sense.
Able to present it and say, all right, there you go. This is bare bones what's going on. This is what happened.
And he hinted at it in his video about Joseph Lombard, too. He hinted at it straight up, like, there's some talk going on involving Dustin McGee when it came to the dick pic shit. you know. So the
There's a
template is
rumor
there.
going around. Oh shit! That was Dustin. So
Yeah, that's what I heard too. That's what I heard.
But again, you know, I'm not going to charge. You know, I want this on record. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to charge Iceman. I'm not going to charge Ian Perez.
I know you. I was probably the least worried about all a bunch because I'm like, you know, it's a situation it's done and over with, you know.
The people
and now
who need to be charged are Dustin McGee, Thomas Geyer, Carl Johnston, aka CB Gamer for Life, and anybody who aided Dustin in this.
I mean, criminal-wise, I don't know if you have a chance, but civil-wise, you do have a chance. You just have to know how their local laws worked in order to get a lawsuit going. That's my thing.
So another thing I think we got to look at is
go ahead,
YouTube
Charles.
Channel.
Sorry.
We got to look on my YouTube channel. Look at my community tab because look who's responded to a couple of my comments.
Of course, it's Thomas.
What's your hold on? What's your YouTube channel? I gotta look it up.
Destroyer 86 on YouTube.
Okay, B, put it in the Discord for me.
Oh yeah, I can. Go ahead, Alex. I hope I didn't cut you off.
He's literally going to my channel right now. I believe.
Right.
Wait, so BJ, you at the beginning you was against Alex?
Yes, I was because of everything that had come out. Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I made my video talking about the whole situation, and then everything died down until this arrest happened, and then everything kind of came back up. I'm like, well, fuck, I better just get him on the podcast to talk about it. We've had a good Damn, we've gone 2 hours. Probably the longest that we've gone.
Oh, so you're making amends for against Alex, right?
Right. Yeah. This is basically my apology to him. And so that's my next. We're gonna end it off with this question. Where do you go from here, Alex? Where do you go?
It's a long road. It really is. I want the people to see Thomas's comments first.
Why does he have to do everything in all caps, man? It just makes no sense.
It's not showing up on the share.
I know because I still have it on the I have a personal, like, my standing with him, like, I'm neutral on him because I've rated his streams from time to time. So I'm kind of staying away from that whole ordeal because where do you, like, it's a long road for you, Alex. I will say that, man. You've been through some shit, especially for a small YouTuber. And I always have to ask people, it's like, whenever you get into these situations involving drama, what the fuck do you gain out of it? You know? Like, at least...
I mean...
Go ahead.
You know, it was just a hard... You know, as a journalist, I'm always looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with Dustin, it was a story. It really was. It's just like he's an interesting figure. People want to hear about him.
Yeah, it trickled down.
Of Dustin, I mean, this is literally what, you know, I can tell you that law enforcement, his local law enforcement does have my case file against Dustin.
Good.
The lead detective has it. It has been sent to a prosecutor. I did FOIA all of Dustin's court documents, which we cannot show up here on here.
Yeah, we can't
here on YouTube because
there are personal information. There's addresses and stuff. I don't want to dox him. That's not who I am.
And yeah, Dustin could come back on me when I published the article I'm writing on him. Hint, hint. But he's either going to be arraigned or sentenced on April 16th.
It's arraigned. I read that document. It is arraigned. He is going to be in for arraignment.
So then moving on, Yeah, but with Gio Trapani, it's just, finally growing up. And the problem with Gio that really pissed me off is I have been trying to get a suit going for 3 years now. Like when I was living with my parents, Berrien County Police said, oh, by the way, the address that Dustin said I lived at, I did not live at, but I did live in that town.
I know what you're talking. It's the video where they have the Discord messages of you and Mary's like supposed real names and shit. Is that what I'm talking? Yeah, I've seen. Yeah. I just saw that like right before we got on here. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I did not live at either one of those addresses. First of all, dude, Alex Wood is just an online alias, dude. I'm not even from Michigan.
Same thing as Heath Nation.
I grew up somewhere that's not Michigan. I can't say where, but
Justin, plot twist, he's in Cincinnati, go find him.
I do have family in Cincinnati.
No shit.
But, I know you're in Columbus, though.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not in Columbus. I'm in. We all live in the same city.
Okay, so you're all in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're not even afraid. Why do you think we covered the Jamar Chase T. Higgins thing?
Okay. Yeah, so it's just like when I noticed that people were starting to get, like when I realized how creepy some of these people were, I came up with an online alias just because, Yeah, Iceman. I think I remember you saying, by the way, hey, Iceman, fuck the White Sox.
That's something we can all agree on. Fuck them White Sox.
Yeah, but then fuck them Cardinals.
Yeah, you know what? As Reds and Cubs fans, we can all agree. Fuck the Cardinals.
Yeah, everyone knows who my favorite baseball team is.
Yeah, I have the jersey. I can't seem to see it from here.
I've literally got all the books. I've got all the newspapers. I've got all the articles. I've got all the gear.
Hell yeah.
That's the freaking day of my life. And when I saw that ball go in Rizzo's glove, I was like, holy shit, did we win?
That's what's
fuck teams, fuck the Steelers too.
Fuck the Steelers. Anyway, but you want my advice to you? We're gonna end it off here. If
but
you want
regarding Gio Trapani,
go ahead.
Sorry. Berrien County said they couldn't do anything because he didn't live there, but they said that if I reported it in St. Clair County, they would transfer the file.
Which they could do. They could do in a civil case.
However, when I reported to St. Clair County, they got mad and asked me why I didn't report it in Berrien County, and I said, because they told me I tried to, and I said,
where does he live?
To contact you, and they would transfer the file. They said, no, you contact where you live, and we'll transfer the file. And I said, you know what? It's not worth it.
It really isn't. The courts are an absolute pain in the ass.
But when I moved here to Battle Creek, I did, because in all the places I've moved, I've had to try to file for a new restraining order. So here in Calhoun County, they actually did take my statement.
That's what's up. Let's go, baby. That's what's up.
So I'll tell you this, Gio, you better watch out. Because if you ever come to a NASCAR race, if you ever come to a fucking short track in Michigan, if you come near anyone that I am affiliated with, you are either going straight to prison or you are going to the psych ward. That is where you belong. You do not belong on the street. You don't belong on YouTube. You don't have any credibility. You have no livelihood. You are a creep. You are a pedophile. You are a stalker.
Damn, we got him angry again, Andy.
And so are you, Dustin McGee. So are you. And there is no more room for you to hide.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
We are all receiving justice for
Alex.
Justin's actions now.
Let
he
Andy
good,
go.
He good. I'm gonna let him finish talking because he ranting and I like it.
Because here's the thing. I am so happy for this arrest. Dustin better hope and pray to God I'm the only person that made any sort of a report or sent anything to police regarding him. He better hope and pray to God that's not used against him. Because I'll tell you this. The police, when I lived in Berrien County, when I lived in Benton Harbor, they took a statement against Dustin because I had evidence, because he was committing a crime. They said if he ever comes to Benton Harbor while I'm living there, he will be, and I see him for any reason, he will be arrested. And when Dustin said,
aggravated,
if I ever contact him, he will personally have me arrested. Well, not anymore. Well, I'll tell you this, not anymore, because guess what? He's the one facing the charges. He's the one going to jail. This is justice for me, for Devin, for Jonathan, for everyone who Dustin McGee has harassed and stalked.
Let's get that zoom in on that mugshot, man. We love it. We love it. This is why this podcast is called Berserk and Nasty, people, because we get Berserk and Nasty. God damn it. Come on, let's go.
Man,
anyway.
I have never been so happy to be so angry.
No, yeah, Charles, you're right in the private chat. Nothing ever going to top my Madden rages. Fuck. You have to bring that shit up.
But anyways, Andy, you had something you wanted to say.
I was just going to say, and on that note, I'm quite sure Diddy would love to have him in there with him.
Let's go! Get that extra
my God,
baby
he looks like a white P. Diddy.
Get the extra baby oil ready.
Get that baby oil ready.
You know what? Hey, Dustin's even been charged with indecent contact with a child, so there you go.
Yeah, it was his 2021 charge, I believe. That's what that was about.
2015 charge.
Oh, it's 2015. I don't know what the 2021 thing was about. I heard that.
The 2021 charge was a legal thing.
Okay. But I'm gonna, guys. Do we have any opinions on this matter? Thoughts, comments? We've been going for a long time.
And I also want to give the chat the opportunity to ask questions here because, like I told whatever the guy's name is, Mad Blade. I'm just gonna call him that. This is their opportunity to ask questions because, you know what, this is why I came here.
Well, there
and
he is.
To answer your question, Mad Blade, the reason I have contact with Hank Parker Jr. is because he and I have a mutual connection. That's how you get places in the sport.
Right. You get mutual connections. Kind of like you, Charles. You get those mutual connections that you have. You get all those jobs working at the stadiums. You know, you start meeting people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Anyway, I'm going to wind down a little bit here. But, Alex, if you want
Let's wind down with Q&A, but yeah, go ahead.
It looks like everybody's kind of... Yeah, if anyone on the panel has any questions, Justin, Andy, Charles... We've gone for a while.
Nah, I ain't got no more.
Yeah.
I mean, nah, but I mean, I will say, don't drop the soap.
And if you want my advice to you, Alex, here, I'm going to close this panel. You know, me and my dad have been going by a simple 2-word motto in life. Just live, man. Life's too short to be getting involved in any of this bullshit. And I'm glad that we have a platform where you can literally, you know, clear the air, you know, get everything out, you know, and that's all you can do from this podcast onwards. Move on with life. You say you got a wife and child now? I'm proud of you, man. You got twins. You did say you have twins. I'm proud of you, man.
Fatherhood.
Hell yeah. That's the big thing, you know. You gotta take care of your mother. You gotta take care of your wife.
Well, you obviously got to take care of your mother.
You got to take care of your mother. I mean, let's be honest. I'm tired. Shut the fuck up.
I think she's good. I think she's good on her own.
Yeah, but we always gotta look out for our elders. You know, take care of your wife. Take care of your kids. Don't get sucked into this drama because it just hurts you mentally.
Those guys
drains you.
Those guys are 30-year-old pedophiles who are going to see their day in court. They're going to see their days, they're going to see their days in court. They're not going to get away with this.
They're not.
Let
All
me
we
tell
can
you
do.
this, being convicted and being charged are two separate things.
They are. They are.
Just because you weren't convicted doesn't mean you didn't do it. Looking at you, Jason Jacoby.
Yes, good example right there. Good
Because
example
the
right
evidence
there.
is out there, but his mom made them shut down the case by suing the DA.
Yeah, because she had all that money, all that money from the husband that works all those entertainment bullshit over in Vegas?
His dad had a big life insurance payout when he passed away, and
oh fuck! Of course.
So they sold, but they put their house up for collateral. Jason Jason broke his bond. They lost their house.
Damn, I didn't know it was that bad. I just know the stuff that was on Oganowski and Darian.
So Jacoby's mom ended up losing her house because of Jason.
Every penny should be paid.
Exactly.
What's up?
I said you're not wrong.
Yeah, every penny should be paid. That hits so much fucking different now. It hits so much differently.
You sent me to school with bullies. You didn't listen to me when I asked for a racing career. You and Dad said you and Dad treated me harshly and pressured me into situations I didn't want to be in.
Just the quotations of you and Dad in quote. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh snap!
But yeah, I mean, Jacoby's not really much of a story because he was involved, but he wasn't involved.
Right. To be fair,
when I did Carson skip Xfinity for Cup, I really wanted to see him in an Xfinity car, but him skipping Xfinity for Cup was interesting. That's because the NASCAR feeder system isn't absolute.
Right.
A Cup car drives so much more similar to a truck.
Granted,
I think it was a little early.
Didn't Kurt Busch go from truck to Cup automatically?
He went from trucks to Cup cold turkey, no Xfinity.
Right. He literally just went from trucks, and in the next season he was already in the Cup because I think was it had that position.
Chad Little.
Chad Little. Oh, that's right, Chad Little. I forgot about Chad Little.
So so why Carson? I told him, hey, the JRM 8 car is, you should totally try to go for that ride. I mean, Spire preps their Xfinity cars in the JRM shop. You've got a relationship with Dale Jr., so why not try for that ride? Well, the opportunity, the sponsorship, the money, the opportunity was more in the Cup Series, not the Xfinity Series. And granted, I will say it was a little soon, but Spire you can go from trucks to Cup if you do it right. And Spire is doing it with Carson right. Toyota in 2311 Racing, they're going to do it with Corey Haim the right way.
Makes sense. All right, I think
he's got 17 Xfinity starts. He hasn't won. The Xfinity Series is not where Corey Haim needs to be. He needs to be in the Cup Series.
That is true, by the way. That is true.
Yeah, Todd Gillen. That move I was not happy about. I'm a huge Todd Gillen fan, but that move was too soon. But they have built front row around Todd Gilliland, and now he has taken the senior leadership role at that team.
Makes sense. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here because, I'm gonna get some closing thoughts here. Like I said, Alex, just live, man. Life's too short to be involved in this shit. You've dealt with it for a while. It looks like, and you made a lot of mistakes, but it looks like you're fixing yourself to be better. You got a wife and twins. I say just live, man. That's all you can do. Just go where life takes you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I just want people to know that I didn't get to where I am by asking for it. I mean, I did, but you have to have the ability to ask for it.
Gotta grind it. Gotta grind it out to have that ability.
You can't meet me and then I'm not. If you meet me, I'm not gonna get you in with any of my contacts, but I will tell you where to start.
Right. Well,
like when I was in college, I wrote for the paper. I was
get
on
stuff out there.
I was on the student-led radio. So of course I had experience. Start a blog. If you're young enough, go to college. There are many different avenues that you can take to get to where I am. But I will also say this, don't be squawking over to NASCAR and saying, I want to, trying to get a hard card or a media pass. Because I'll tell you this, you're probably going to get rejected the first 1 or 2, maybe even 3 times like I did.
Gotta put in the effort to get it, though.
If you don't work for a major publication.
Right. You gotta start.
They don't consider Speed Cafe. They didn't consider Seriously Fast big until after the 2023 SRX season. But because I was working for Speed Cafe, that's why they gave me the opportunity that they gave me.
That makes sense, man. Yeah, just keep at it. So we're gonna wrap up here. Tell people where they can find you. All right.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter at Alex Wood Webb. I gotta ask you, what tweets of mine have you seen? The roasts.
The stuff about what's his face? What's it called? Fucking Jordan Fixon. You roasting that trans motherfucker was funny as shit. That was some shit.
Yeah, that's what got me. That's what Fixon sent to Seriously Fast to get me fired.
Damn, that's some shit.
But literally, Tom Lettermoser is also transphobic. He's homophobic. Unlike me, I accept gay people. He's openly transphobic. He's openly homophobic. He's been involved with the law, so it's pretty fucking wild.
It's nuts, man. But I've plugged both your YouTube and the Twitter in the what's it called? The comment section. Make sure you guys give them a follow over on Twitter. Make sure you guys give them a subscribe over on YouTube. That's what's up.
That link because
yeah.
Because remember, after the whole Dustin thing started, people were making fake Destroyer H6 accounts.
That was true. I do remember that. But we're gonna end it off.
Remember when he was telling people I sent him dick
Real
pics?
quick. Yeah, I remember that part. I looked at that portion of the.
It was clearly Dustin that was saying them to himself.
Also, I looked at that fucking image. It's like, wait a minute. Alex doesn't wear a watch. I've seen plenty of pictures of him. He don't wear a watch. The dude
I used to, but it wasn't that type of watch.
Yeah, I'm like, the times where I've seen him, I'm like, he's never wears a watch. So that's just blatant bullshit. But anyway, man, what an episode of this podcast. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to see more, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. We'll be back at it next Sunday. Talladega should be next Sunday, isn't it? Or is it like a little bit further? Oh, it's Martin's. Oh, it's the fucking paperclip track. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. I know Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed's come out. I know Andy will want to talk about that and talk about Fortnite as well. So be on the lookout for that.
What if they get me back on when Dustin is arraigned and sentenced?
We'll see, man. We'll see how this whole situation plays out. I'm just glad the whole drama has come to an end with this stream. That's it for tonight. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.